everyone, it's Val at Better Believe here. I had such good response to my first codependency video that I thought of doing a follow-up one on what I thought would be possibly the main question that may spark from that content. And this question sounds something along the lines of this. But Val, there's a lot of professions and roles in society that have their very foundation on the desire to help others, both for a monetary return, like therapists or healers, or simply for a sense of purpose, like volunteer work. How can these be carried out without putting the needs of the person that we're helping before our own? And this is absolutely true. It may sound like a bit of a contradiction. So in this video, I'm going to break down and I'm going to flesh out the 5 main differences that I've observed between being codependent on the one side and having a positive impact on the people around me through my professional or personal knowledge on the other side. I'll also go over how I have used these 5 distinctions to make sure that my decision to step into a role of help and assistance to other people was coming absolutely from a place of wanting to have a positive impact on the humans in my range of influence, rather than from a place of codependency. So ensuring that I'm not trying to help myself and resolve my own problems more than I'm trying to help others in the activities that I'm going to do. So if you're interested to know which ones these 5 are, just watch on. Number 1, the hierarchy of needs. The first of these distinctions is better explained with a visual. So if my editing skills are just a tiny bit better than they were during the last videos, you should be seeing somewhere on the screen overlaid to the video an image showing Maslow's hierarchy of needs, which some of you may already be familiar with. This visual is useful as it shows the difference between the more basic needs that all humans have for love and belonging, and the more complex, less urgent needs that humans may have for esteem and self-actualization. So if you look at the pyramid, I believe the love and belonging psychological needs sit on the 3rd layer, whereas the needs for esteem and self-actualization are the ones more towards the top. The needs for love and belonging are more pressing and critical for human beings. So the lower down you travel in the pyramid, the more you are going to deal with needs that are more pressing for survival. So the needs for love and belonging are more pressing for survival, especially during childhood, for human beings, because belonging to a family unit and receiving love from our parents or caregivers is what ensures that we get taken care of and therefore that we survive when we're not independent. As we then grow up and grow old and we do become independent, we still continue to seek fulfillment of those needs by creating relationships with people that we trust. And the success of these relationships is always more closely connected to our survival than the ones of the needs in the higher sections of the pyramid. This section of the pyramid, the one of the psychological needs for love and belonging, is where normally codependency tends to occur. Positive impact, however, on the other hand, sits in the higher and less urgent section of the pyramid, which is the one of self-actualization. When stepping into paid or volunteer work to assist others in needs from a place of self-actualization rather than one of codependency, ensures that I'm not attempting to fulfill the gaps in my own emotional needs by carrying out these activities, but that I am genuinely trying to have a positive impact on others. Hopefully also implies that my needs for love and belonging are either already met, so the more basic psychological ones, or that if they're not met at the moment because life situations are very different and it would be unfair to imply that people that don't have their psychological needs met at this moment can't step into a helping profession, but at least it means that my attempts to meet these psychological needs are elsewhere as part of my more urgent social needs rather than as part of my job or my volunteer work. Having my emotional needs already met or met at the more basic level allows me to better focus on the activities that I've chosen to have a positive impact, or at least suggests that I have enough awareness that the role I'm taking on will have to remain separate from the fulfillment of my own love and connection needs that I'm trying to attain at the more basic level. Number 2, the need to earn love or work for love, which in other words means that just being the way you are isn't enough for people to love you. You have to do something to show them that you're worthy of their love. When I was codependent, I lived in the constant fear that friends and partners could just abandon me any minute, because my belief around their love and affection towards me was that they only loved me and accepted me because of what I did for them. So to be on the safe side, I just did everything for everyone all the time. This led to a spiral of feeling like I had to earn love and work for love. In other words, I couldn't just expect love for being who I was. I had to buy that love through my helpfulness, through my selflessness. We have discussed in my first video why being codependent isn't selfless at all. So if you want to know more about that, go and watch that video. And if I failed at meeting other people's needs before mine, I felt like I was worth nothing. I didn't belong anywhere, I didn't belong with these people, and therefore I didn't deserve anyone's affection or consideration or trust. On the other hand, when having a positive impact on the people around me through my job or other forms of help, I'm reassured that I am already loved. So I'm reassured in the feeling that the people already in my life already love me and accept me for who I am and exactly the way I am, as long as I respect their needs and boundaries, of course. So that need for love and affection is already satisfied. And it also means that if my attempts to self-actualize in the helping profession don't work, if it turns out that I suck as a therapist, or if it turns out that with one particular client I don't have results as good as I had anticipated, this does not compromise how safe I feel in the fulfillment of my own psychological needs for love and belonging, because those are already there, they're solid. Nor does it make me feel like I'm unworthy of love. It's just a professional implication. Number 3, being able to tell my needs from the needs of other people. And this may sound a little bit crazy, but being codependent often meant for me that I was completely unable to distinguish the other person's needs from my own needs. Didn't realize I had any needs. Or I felt that when the other person's needs were met, then that meant that my own needs were met. And you may hear people with codependency traits, I still have a few in my family, say things like, oh, I don't care what we do, as long as such and such person is happy, then I'm happy. And I'm not talking situations where the third person that they're talking about is their own child or dependent, and therefore they are responsible for guaranteeing their well-being. It's also often situations with partners, friends, other family members, or extended groups. And this is often a sign that the person in question is unaware of their own needs and boundaries until their needs and boundaries are so severely neglected or tramped on that they become impossible to ignore. And these are normally very basic emotional needs for respect, connection, consideration, support, as per Maslow's hierarchy, the third section. On the other hand, when working to have a genuine positive impact on the people around us without codependency, it's more common for one to be aware of their own needs and boundaries, and also to be able to verbalize them without fear of negative consequences. So they have little to no difficulty saying things like, no, this doesn't work for me, or my preference is different from yours. without feeling like they're being a bad person for it. Number 4, being able to recognize when other people's needs may be more important than mine, but also when my needs are more important than theirs. This may sound similar to the previous point, but it's not exactly the same, especially because it implies that awareness of one's own needs is already present, whereas the previous point didn't. Being codependent often meant that my own needs systematically came after the ones of the other person, regardless of how intense or urgent they may have been. This may have meant something as silly as I would do stuff like spending my lunch break going to get food for other people, or I would spend my free time doing other people's homework rather than giving myself some rest from my own studies. And I thought that was normal. I thought that was my job. I generally did. Having a positive impact, on the other hand, not only allows me to not disempower other people and let them actually be directly responsible for their own well-being, but it also makes me able to assess the importance of my own needs against other people's and to put them first when they are more intense or urgent than the ones of the person asking for my help. And this is a crucial thing to be able to do when providing a well-being service, and especially when requesting compensation for the service, which is more important than the other person's need or desire to receive service for free or for very cheap because they think that emotional help should just be provided for free. Number 5, by far my favorite. I'm happy about other people's successes, whether or not they depended on my help. During my years as a hardcore codependent, so I would say my teenage years up to pretty much halfway through my 20s, when I realized that something in my model wasn't quite working well, I used to get really, really anxious. It used to be one of my worst nightmares, actually, and I'm a bit ashamed of saying this, but I'm coming clean. I used to get really anxious and really unhappy when the people I had been helping would start becoming stronger, more independent, made other connections or created loyalty with other people that could help them, or simply for any reason didn't require my help anymore. Because for me, providing unlimited help to these people was the only way that I knew how to exist in those particular relationships or friendships. However, now that my aim is to have a genuine positive impact, I can easily exist in a personal relationship with someone, even when not in a helping role. I don't feel like it's my job anymore to be helping them all the time, and I don't feel like that would be the only reason why they'd keep me around. Of course, it goes without saying that mutual help exists between friends and family. It's the very core of why human groups come together, stay together, and trust each other. But that is only good when there's balance, not when the help and support always goes one way and never back the other way. So when there's balance, mutual help is good. But also I am very happy when the people that I have been helping and supporting, if that's what I've been doing, start showing empowerment in their own decisions, and they start having the strength and the courage that they need to do something new without my help. That actually gives me a sense of liberation because I'm happy for them. So these were the main 5 distinctions that I've observed between codependency and positive impact in my journey as a human. Please do let me know your thoughts. If you've had a similar or maybe completely different experience, and as usual, don't forget to like this video and to subscribe to my channel for more. I don't know why I couldn't say subscribe. Anyway, if you subscribed, I would love it. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, this is Val again at Better Believe. Have a great rest of your day, everyone.